the jingle. And my husband, we've been married 11 months today. Welcome, no, 11 months. Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy. Bill is never in the background, but he is behind me. And we're welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm going to mute all of you, and we're going to get started this morning standing. Let's just shake everything out here. Shake out your legs, shake out your arms, take up a lot of space. And we're going to take a slight bend in the knees, and we're going to inhale arms up overhead and find opposite elbows. So a slight bend in those knees, they're tracking over your ankles and toes. And we'll just take a stretch to the right. There's our grandfather clock. Relax that jaw. We inhale, come back to center, full breath in here. And exhale, gently twist or lifting up and over, stretching to the other side. Feel those toes. We inhale our breath back to center. Inhale, up and over to the other side. A couple more, we breathe in. Up and over. We'll come back to neutral. One more breath up, over, and let's follow that elbow down. Take your time. We rotate down towards the earth and inhale, that right elbow leads up and over. So take your time, we'll follow that elbow down. Head is super heavy, relax those gripping toes. I see white toes, Bill, behind me. Inhale.
That's the way they come.
And one more time on this side. We slowly lower down. Take your time. Removing those cobwebs, opening up the body, full breath in. And we'll change sides. So we're leading with that left elbow, right ribs fan. We slowly descend, head super heavy, really rooting through those legs. Breathe in on the inhalation. Just following that elbow down. Linger if you wish. Relax those toes. Beautiful. We'll take one more. Beautiful. Slowly descending down. And we'll come all the way up. Let's lower those arms down to the sides, and we'll find our child's pose. And so coming into that grounding position, checking in. And as you settle into your child's pose, I have a quote this morning on Friends. Hips are heavy. You can gently rock your forehead side to side. But real friends can help you feel grounded during a storm and inspired enough to launch into your dreams. Whether you met them recently or have known them for years, there's a special energy when you're together that fills you with strength. The way they believe in you makes life easier. So allowing that just to settle in as we ground, those bones are heavy. Just allowing yourself to melt down. Let the belly be nice and soft. Shoulders gently drop away from your ears. Feeling the palms, the forearms, the top of the feet, the shins as they connect with the floor. Feeling the breath on the back body. Take one more breath here. Open up the mouth, just let it go. And we'll walk those hands to the left side of the mat. Take the right hand on top of the left. Another side stretch on the right side of the body. Relax the tongue. We swallow a few times, and we'll take a walk to the other side. Taking the left hand on top of the right, that beautiful left stretch on the left side of the body. Skin on the forehead softens. Nice, and we'll take a walk, our hands to the center of the mat, and we'll come onto our hands and knees. Walk your knees a little further behind you. So we're just going to stretch our hips forward, our shoulders over the wrists, Open up the collarbones and we'll draw our hips back. You can take those toes together or just settle back into that modified child's pose. So we inhale with our breath, reach those hips forward, open up the collarbones, nice, gently moving, draw those hips back. 2 more like that. Imagine it's like a wave. So you're rolling forward, shoulders over the wrist creases, you melt those hips, modify as you need, draw those hips back, lengthening through the spine. Gorgeous. 1 more like that. Imagine that as that wave rolling. Your hips surrender. We open up those collarbones. Nice. We tuck our toes under, lift those sits bones into our downward dog. Pedal out those feet. Shake out that head. And keeping your hands where they are, we'll walk our feet a foot closer. So maybe your heels come down and we'll crisscross that left hand towards our right hand towards our left heel or ankle. Bend those knees, protect that lower back, those hamstrings, shake out the head, let it be nice and loose. And we'll switch sides. So opposite hand towards the heel, ankle, we just gently twist, let go of the head, drop the head.
It's a drop.
Nice. And reach your left hand back to the floor. And let's walk our feet now up towards the heel of our hands. We find that halfway lift. Surrender, let go, Uttanasana, crown of the head towards the floor, shake it out, spread those toes wide. We inhale, find that halfway lift, reach your heart forward, soften the knees, crown of the head towards the floor, exhale. 2 more like that, we're moving with our breath. Taking our time, letting go on that exhalation. 1 more like that, we find that halfway lift, open up the collarbones, navel is engaged up towards the spine, soften those knees, crown of the head towards the floor. Now heel toe those feet together. Again, we'll find those opposite elbows and just swaying side to side like a pendulum. I'm going to actually face forward towards you guys, towards you ladies, I should say. And so we'll take our finger pads to the floor and finding Skandasana. So walk that left foot out, little inner groin stretch this morning. Draw those right toes up. So take your time. We're slowly opening up the body. Welcome, David. Nice. Nice to have a little more energy, even if it's cyber male energy. And we'll come to the other side.
Nothing cyber about me.
There's nothing cyber about you. No, those left toes flex. We surrender into those inner groins. Beautiful stretches this morning. 1 more each side before we begin to flow. Maybe flex those right toes. Maybe that left heel comes a little closer to the ground. Just opening up the body. Content where we are. Last time, flex those left toes. And we'll straighten both legs. Heel toe those feet together. As you come up, we slowly unwind the spine. Arms reach up, lines of energy out through those fingertips. Let's take a slight back bend. Our tail tucks under, our heart lifts. Let go of that head. We welcome in this beautiful day and swan dive forward. Our Uttanasana, halfway lift. Step the right leg back, right knee on the earth. We untuck the toes and inhale. Come all the way up. Nice exhale down. We'll step that right foot forward. We find that halfway lift and step the left leg back, left knee down, untuck the toes, extend. We're going to do that 1 more time each side. So the hands come to the floor. We step that left leg back. Inhale here. Now the right knee down, untuck the toe, big breath in, we stretch. Maybe a slight back bend. Hands to the floor, beautiful. We'll step that right leg to the left. And last time on this side, the left knee comes down to the earth. We untuck the toes, we inhale, maybe find that slight back bend. hands to the floor. Now step the right leg back into our high plank. Pause here. Give yourself hips distance apart. We lift that back body, open up the collarbones. So we'll just take those right toes about 3 inches off the floor. Find that balance. Nice little shaking in my right foot, right toes down. Now the left toes, just 3, 4, 5 inches off the ground. We'll draw those toes back to the earth. Let's lift our sits bones. Downward dog, shake out that head. And now the right leg lifts. Step it forward into that high lunge. And we'll come all the way up into that crescent lunge. So just lengthening, maybe a slight back bend. And we'll take those hands to the floor. Step that left leg to the right. Now we step the right leg back. So we're in that high lunge into that crescent lunge. Beautiful. We'll take those hands down one more time each side. So right foot comes to the left. We step the left leg back. We're in that high lunge and we ride that breath all the way up. Connect with the core, maybe a slight back bend. Hands to the floor. One more on this side. The right leg comes back. We inhale up into that crescent lunge. Beautiful. Hands to the floor. Step that left leg back into that high lunge again.
High lunge.
Into the
High plank.
thank you, bud. High plank. So we'll elevate those right toes off the floor. Find that balance. Right toes down. Left toes just lift.
To the point.
Seal point. Nice. Toes to the earth. Downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Shake out that head. Those subtle movements, semi-subtle movements, already have you connected with that breath, warming up the body. Please take one more inhale here. We let that go. Look forward, bend those knees. You can step or hop to the tap, halfway lift. Deep fold forward and ride that breath all the way up. Beautiful. We'll take a slight back bend and swan dive forward. Melt, let go, release, halfway lift, step or jump those feet back, high to low plank. Cobra or upward dog, downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Right leg lifts. We step it forward into that high lunge, finger pads on the floor. Now finding that gentle, easy twist. Right hand up towards the sky. Spread the fingers wide. We inhale here. Exhale the hand towards the left side of the mat. We breathe in, moving with our breath. Open up the chest. Exhale, fingers to the side of the floor. 2 more. Sip in that breath. Exhale. 1 more. We breathe in. Fingers to the floor. Just take that right hand back down. Right leg back, high plank to low plank. Cobra or up dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Left leg lifts. Step it into that high lunge. Keep the finger pads on the floor. We have that easy twist. So right here, track that left knee and right shoulder to the center of the mat. Reach that right heel to the back of the floor, to the back of your mat. Fingers spread wide, big breath in. Exhale, surrender those fingers towards the outer edge of the mat. Move with our breath. Inhale, open up the chest. Exhale, gentle twist. 2 more, we breathe in. And we breathe out. Last one, inhale, expand. Exhale, release. Hands to the floor, left leg back. Your vinyasa, high plank to low plank. Cobra or upward dog, downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Coming to that breath. Rooting the fingers and toes to the earth. We take a slight bend in those knees. We press our chest closer to those thighs. Lift those sits bones a little higher. We're lengthening through that spine. Head is super heavy. Eyes are soft. Another full breath here. We let that go. Look forward, bend those knees. Step, maybe hop to the top. Halfway lift. A deep forward fold. We ride that breath all the way up. Navel is engaged. We take a slight back bend and swan dive forward. Navel is engaged as we come all the way down. Halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Right leg lifts. Step it forward into that high lunge, into that crescent lunge. We gather our prayer to our heart center, pushing off that back leg into Virabhadrasana 3. Steady breathing, leveling off those hips. That right foot is rooted. Now we're going to lift that left knee all the way up to our chest as we come to that standing position. Nice. Now extend the leg and just gaze over that left side. Beautiful. We'll draw that right knee in and find Virabhadrasana 3. So same thing, we're going to do this 3 more times. So on an inhale, that left knee lifts up. Open up the leg and twist to the side. Make some room here. Hands to our heart as we pitch that leg forward. 2 more. Inhale. Left knee high. You can stay here or expand. We draw that prayer together and pitch that leg back. 1 more time. Beautiful. We inhale. Expand. Draw that knee back in to Virabhadrasana 3. Step that left leg back through that high lunge. Vinyasa, hands to the floor. Beautiful. Right leg back, high to low. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. So the left leg lifts. We step it forward into that, from the lunge on the floor all the way up to that crescent lunge. So tall spine, lift those arms a little higher. Now soften those shoulders down, the shoulder blades away from your ears, those floating ribs into your chest. We'll bring our prayer to our heart center, pushing off that back leg into Virabhadrasana 3. I'm going to find my way into this palm here. On an inhale, we'll lift that right knee. You can extend that leg and twist to the side. Beautiful. We bring our prayer together. Pitch your heart forward into Virabhadrasana 3. Level off those hips. The left foot is rooted. We inhale that right knee high. We're engaging the core. You stay here or expand and twist. Hands to our heart. 2 more. So from Virabhadrasana 3, use that core. Right knee high. Expand and twist. Bring that prayer to your heart 1 more time. So we find our way into Virabhadrasana 3, level off those hips, use that core, right knee up, extend and twist. Our prayer to our heart. From Virabhadrasana 3, we step back into that crescent lunge and your vinyasa, hands to the floor. Left leg back, high to low plank, cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. We pause and breathe. Feeling the breath on the back body. Opening up the backs of the legs, drawing those heels a little closer to the floor. Take another full breath in. We let that go. Look forward. Deep bend in those knees. Step or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. And rise all the way up. Come all the way up, lines of energy. And we'll take our hands to our heart center as we fold. Halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back. High to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Right leg lifts. Step it into warrior 2. Arms swing up and around. We drop into those hips. Soften those shoulders. Let's go a little deeper, working into that right thigh. So tracking the right knee over the right ankle. We'll straighten through the right leg, bump those hips back, reach those right fingers forward. We breathe in, we come back to center. And again, deep reach in that right hand, setting up for our triangle. 2 more. Sip in the breath, soften those shoulders. Maybe a slight bend in the knees, reach the fingers forward. And last time, back to center, all the way into Trikonasana, triangle. So extend, lower the hand, left hand high, spread the fingers wide, and we'll close our eyes here. Just feeling yourself in space. Kneecaps lifted, our face is soft. Let's flutter our eyelids open and take that left hand over the left ear. Let's engage that right hand. We're holding that beach ball. Nice for 3, for 2, on 1. We blossom open into warrior 2. Our vinyasa, hands to the floor, right leg back from high plank to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. So the left leg lifts. Warrior 2. Arms up and over. Drop into those hips. Left knee towards left pinky toe. Let's settle a little deeper into that left thigh. The outer edge of that right foot is rooting you. Let's hug the muscles to the bones as we descend just a little deeper. Now, lengthening through that left leg, we bump those right hips back. Slight bend in the left knee. Let's extend that left hand towards the back side of your mat. Soften those shoulders. Inhale, come back to center. 3 more like that. We're reaching, we're lengthening, expanding. We find our way back, moving always with our breath. Let that inhale initiate. We'll come back to center. This last one will go into Trikonasana, triangle. So we find that extension. Let that hand go. Soften that left knee, right hand. We fan those fingers. Let's close our eyes again. Just taking out that vision, feeling the posture, noticing what happens to our balance. Flutter those eyelids open. Nice. And we'll take that right hand over the ear. That gorgeous stretch. And maybe take that left hand. Hold that imaginary beach ball for 3. We're breathing 2. On 1, we blossom open. Back through warrior 2, your vinyasa. Take your time, left leg back, high to low, a cobra or upward dog. Meet in downward dog, we pause and breathe. Steady breath. Heels draw to the floor. 1 more inhale. Exhale, completely look forward. Bend those knees, step or hop to the top. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Ride that breath all the way up. A slight back bend and swan dive forward. Uttanasana. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back, high to low plank. Cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Big toes in that center line. Right leg lifts. We take the right knee to the right elbow. Maybe it connects. Shoulders over those wrist creases. Extend, point through the toes. Crisscross that knee to the left elbow. We're breathing in. 1 more time to each elbow. So right knee to right elbow. Press that chest away. We crisscross right knee to left elbow. Kick out that leg. Fall in triangle. Weight into that right hand. And we blossom open. So lift the heart. Open up the chest. Use the connection of your feet to maybe expand a little higher. Beautiful. Watch that left hand as it comes down. The right leg up into our downward dog. Pause here, readjust, shake out that head. And we'll walk those toes into that center plane. The left leg extends. Now we take the left knee to the left elbow. Shift your weight forward and extend. We crisscross left knee to right elbow. Maybe they touch and lengthen. Again, crisscrossing left knee to left elbow, high sangha. We press that leg away. Last time, left knee towards right elbow, kick out that leg. You can stay here or wait into that left hand. Your right hand expands. So use the feet to lift the front body, maybe open up that chest a little further. We're breathing here. And watch that right hand come to the floor. Nice, left leg up. And take the legs down into our downward dog. Pause and breathe here. Settling into the body, shake out that head. We take one more inhale. Let that go, look forward, bend the knees, step or hop to the top. Halfway lift, forward fold. It's time for our chair position. So our hips are heavy. We extend, lift our heart. Breathing in here. So we'll lift those hands a little higher, look straight ahead, squeeze those knees together. We're gonna lift, elevate those heels off the floor. Breathing here, squeeze those knees, open up the arches of those feet. Find the balance, look straight ahead. We have 3 more breaths here. Finding that balance, so beautiful too. And on 1, drop those heels, hands to our heart center as we fold. Shake out that head, split those feet hips distance apart. Just hang on to those big toes. Reach your heart forward, open up those collarbones. Soften those knees slightly, elbows out to the side, crown of the head towards the floor. So head is super heavy, shake it out side to side. And we change our mind, we shake it up and down. So you're in charge of how deep this stretch can be. So any challenges with knee or with lower back, hamstrings, we bend our knees as much as you can. You want to take that stress out of the body, letting the body heal. It takes a lot of time. And we'll find that halfway lift. Maybe slide those hands underneath your feet or just stay with the toes. Halfway lift, yes, gorilla pose. Elbows out to the side, crown of the head towards the floor. Shake out that head again. Weight into the balls of the feet. 2 more breaths here. Navel in and up towards our spine, the shoulders away from your ears. We'll release our hands, Malasana, our deep squat. So settle in, take our hands to our heart center. Always encouraging you, those heels may be several inches off the floor. You can roll up your mat a little bit. Give those heels a little bit of a lift. Deepen into those inner groins, which we opened up at the beginning of class. We'll take that right hand on the inside of the right foot and extend. Spread those fingers wide. Use that leverage of that right elbow and the right knee. And we'll take that left hand down. We'll change sides. We breathe in, expand. And one more time each side. So the right hand comes down. Use that breath. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Exhale, soften, let go. And from, we'll come into our Malasana and we will do 5 rooting to rises. So heels down, expand, lift, and just melt down. Hands come to your heart into that deep squat. 4 more. We lift, expand, opening up the body as much as you can. Take up a lot of space with those hands. Breathing in, melting. We've got 2 more. Extending, expanding. And this last one, we breathe in, lift, hands to the floor, and we'll find another child's pose. So first half of the class is completed. We settle into our child's pose or embryo pose where our knees are together. So maybe mix it up. Little different posture here when your knees are together. Forehead to the floor. If your forehead does not come to the ground, use a book or a prop so the body can let go. Gently releasing, swallow a few times. Relax that jaw. Another breath in. Let it go. And we're going to come into Virasana this morning. So we'll start by bringing our forehead to the floor. We're on our feet, our knees are about hip distance apart. And I take my hands behind the back of my knees and imagine that I'm ironing my calves away so I can slowly come and sit between my legs or a brick or maybe 2 bricks. It depends how open you are. So we're opening up those quadriceps. So maybe you have to come up a couple of levels. Make it easy on your body. If you have challenges with your knees, you can come onto your back body and do figure 4. So take your time. We just settle in here. So let's clue into our body. Are there strong sensations? Please come out of the posture. Otherwise, allow the body to let go of any holding. So it may take several breaths here. And you stay here, or we'll go a little further. Please take it slowly. You can take your hands behind you. For some of you, onto your forearms. And all the way down, back body to the floor. So this is my 31st year of practicing yoga. And this posture, I could barely do Virasana when I started. It takes a long time to allow the body to soften and open. But coming back, you see those small changes in the body, something you couldn't do in the class before, and how smart the body is, building those pathways, unraveling those habitual holdings. So we'll take one more breath here. Gently let that go. We'll slowly transition back onto our hands and knees now. For a few cat-cows, you can extend those legs, give those back of the knees a break. Extend opposite leg. And finding a few cat-cows. So shins root, we feel those toenails. We exhale the air, round that back body, shake out that head. Let's lift up that back body a little more. Then reach that heart forward. Open up the collarbones. Nice. 2 more. Exhale, pull that navel in. Enjoy that inhale, eyes high. Last one, exhale. Come back to neutral, toes tucked under. Lift those sits bones, walk your feet towards the heel of your hands. And we sit into that chair. So fingertips to the floor, arms reach up high into our eagle. Beautiful. Right elbow underneath left. Let's lift those elbows. Weight into that left foot. We sit tall. Right thigh up and over. Shoulders slide down that back body. Spin those knees a little to the right. As we squeeze those thighs together, descend those hips a little deeper and maybe lift from your hips up a little expansion. Press your forearms towards the front of your mat. Eyes are looking right outside the sides of your wrists, looking straight ahead. Beautiful. Let's release everything. Inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Finger pads on the floor, bend those knees, find that chair position. So we extend and take the opposite left elbow under right. Taking your time, feet root, our heart lifts, weight into that right foot, left thigh up, over. Maybe you wrap, spin those knees to the left, tail tucks under. You've got that beautiful tall spine. Now let's lift those elbows a little bit and maybe press those forearms away. Swallow. You're looking straight ahead. Squeeze those thighs together. Drop those hips a little deeper, but from your hips up, lift that chest. Nice. One more breath here. We'll release everything. So we're going to go right into that posture one more time. So right elbow under, right thigh up and over. So maybe moving in slow motion. You take your time. You settle into the posture, working your way up from the ground. So the left foot is rooted. We spin those knees a little to the right, stacking those bones. Tail tucks under. Tall spine. Can you press those forearms to the front of your space? So stay here, or let's unwrap that thigh. Virabhadrasana 3. Taking flight. So we'll engage our core. We'll just lift that right knee up. We explored that earlier today, and we'll just take that wrap, settle in. Nice, and we'll let everything go. So moving in slow motion, there's no rushing between postures. So we'll find our eagle on the other side. So in slow motion, that left elbow under, left thigh up and over. There's no fast movements. Slowly going into the posture. Once you settle in, we adjust. So starting from the ground up, right foot roots. We center those knees a little more to the left. Hips are level. Tail tucked under. Maybe lift those elbows. Press those forearms to the front of the space. You stay here, or let's explore Virabhadrasana 3. So we unwrap that leg, slight bend in the left knee. Hips are level. Taking flight. Beautiful. Stacy's reaching into our classroom. Nice. And with control, we lift that left knee, wrap, and let's unravel. Take your time. Breathe in. Prayer to our heart center, Samastitihi. Close your eyes. Settle in here. Quick body scan. Lick those lips. Two more breaths. Last full inhale. Let it go, flutter those eyelids. And we'll find our figure 4 for our standing balance this morning. If you want to stick with traditional tree, please do. Otherwise, let's start by balancing, holding that right, reaching for that right heel with the left hand. You can support the legs with both of your hands and slowly allow that right ankle to come on the left thigh. So a tall spine, you can stay supported here, or we'll just bend through those hips. So keeping the elbows out of the position, we'll just straighten through that left leg and settle into those hips again. So that left knee is bending slightly. The right foot is flexed. You find that balance, look straight ahead and extend. We'll straighten. Now this time we'll go a little deeper and invite the upper body towards the lower body. So those elbows hover, that core is engaged. If you fall out, we come right back in. Means you're playing that edge. That's fantastic. So if you fall out, good for you. You've played that edge, and you'll just come back and try again the next time. Right foot down, shake out that extra energy. We've got one more side. So same setup, we bend the left knee, right hand underneath that left heel. Just allow that hip to let go. You can support with both legs, with both hands underneath that leg. Tall spine here. Use the wall if your balance is precarious this morning. And so we'll take that left ankle on top of the right thigh, hands to your heart center. We're just bending that right knee, melting those hips. The upper body is still engaged. We find that opposition. So we lower and lift and extend. The right toes are not gripping, they're spreading wide. They're supporting you as we lower those hips. Unhinge that jaw. Beautiful. We'll ride that breath up. Now we'll add the upper body. So that right knee is tracking over the toes. Left foot is flexed. We drop into those hips. Maybe those elbows come a little closer. 2 more breaths. Maybe they touch. You fall out, good for you. Come all the way up, toes to the floor, and let's just shake out, bring that spine. For 3, for 2, and 1. Expand those hands. And we'll step up at the top of the mat. Hands to your heart center, full breath in, and we melt forward. You find that halfway lift, step or jump those feet back, high to low, cobra or upward dog, downward dog, exhale, knees to the ground. Maybe create a little cushion, and we have our Ustrasana. So we explore camel a lot on Thursdays. We start with tucking our toes under, hands on that lower back, and hug those elbows in. So right here, we feel that chest expansion already. The front body, imagine there's a wall here. So you want to press those hip points towards that wall, open up that chest, let the head go. Steady breathing. Maybe you go a little further, reaching for those heels. We're taking that bow position. So keep reaching that heart towards that imaginary wall. Unhinge that jaw. Where do you feel the breath? Can you send it all the way to the belly? 1 more inhale here. We let that go completely. Hands can come back on your hips if you reached for your heels. Now we'll take our fingers towards our knees. So we're rotating our hands out so the wrist creases are parallel to the floor, toes are tucked under, and you can reach the bottom towards your heels. So right here, if this is too much intensity on your hands, just walk your hands closer. Maybe you can bring your bottom a little closer to those heels. We're opening up those arches, opening up our wrists. Draw the shoulders away from your ears. Connect with that breath. Nice, 1 more inhale here. We let that go. Keep your bottom where it is. Let's just spin our fingers in towards one another. Maybe bend those elbows. And we untuck our toes and just shake out those hands. So rotating the wrists. We've got 1 more camel, Ustrasana. So second position, you can keep those toes tucked under. Maybe take a slightly wider stance. Use the foundation of the calves rooting you. So we have that tall spine again. We open up those collarbones, support that lower back, hug those elbows in. That imaginary wall is right here. So hip points and chest towards that wall. Lick your lips, find that breath. Maybe find your heels. Find that expansion. So that inner body is expanding with that breath, clearing out those cobwebs. Can you reach your breath all the way to your upper shoulders, all the way down to your toes? Now chin in, hands on your hips. We'll take a few cat-cows here, counterbalancing Our heart reaches forward. Draw that tail under, drop your head. Inhale. Exhale. We'll cross our ankles and come onto our back body. So if you have a brick close by, we'll invite that brick into our practice. Otherwise, you could do this without a brick. But adding a little core this morning, hugging the brick between your ankles. You get a very similar workout if you don't have a prop. So we synchronize our hand and the heels together. So on an inhale, take the brick into your hands. We'll take the brick overhead as the heels slowly descend, moving from your core. So taking the brick now into your heels and slowly descend. If you have any challenges in the back, do not use the brick, modify this posture. We take our time and allow the core to do this practice. Take your jaw out. You should have that rhythmic breathing, just transferring that brick a few more times. Again, if this is challenging, take it without the brick. We'll have 2 more exchanges here. Warming up that core. Nice work. So the last time that brick comes to your hands, just take the brick overhead. You can keep it there, extend those legs, and finding a mini shavasana here. Completely letting go. Lick your lips. We'll hug that right knee in and take the knee across the body, extend that right arm. Gentle twist, taking your gaze over that right shoulder. And we'll roll onto our backs, right leg extends. A moment here in a mini shavasana, let the body just be loose, surrendering to gravity. Now the left knee bends into your chest. And we'll draw it across the body, extend that left hand. Maybe take your gaze over that left shoulder. Roll back onto our back body. Both knees hug in now. Take your hands on your knees, and like a butterfly, we'll push our legs away. We'll open up our wings, draw those knees in, and push them away. Opening up those hips. The knees squeeze together at the chest. We push those legs away, open, and squeeze in. Let's change direction. The knees open wide. We hug them together and then draw them into our chest. 3 more here. Squeezing, softening the face. We have 1 more. We open up those knees. Beautiful. Hug those knees in. And let's rock and roll. Giving that attention to our back body. We're going to take one more roll, but hug those knees in, extend those legs up overhead, finding our way into plow. So we lift those hips, take the toes up and over. We walk our hands down our back body. So if toes are overhead, find the tops of your toenails. Bill is doing a modified shoulder stand. You're welcome to do that.
Thank you.
So melting into that middle back here. If your breathing is compromised, come out of the posture. We honor our head and neck. I say it every time we do this posture. We do not move our head or neck in this position. You want to not compromise the body. So after a couple of breaths, maybe walk those hands down the back body a little bit. Maybe you can take those toes a little further from your head. If you've taken shoulder stand, walk your hands down the back, lift those toes a little higher. We have 2 more breaths here. Another full inhale. On an exhale, inviting you to bend your knees towards your ears. You're still supporting that lower back. Squeeze those knees in. And we'll slowly unwind that spine. Take your time. And just hug those knees back into your chest. So we'll take a figure 4 on our backs. So right ankle on left knee. Draw that left knee into your chest. Pin your shoulders to the floor. Flex the right foot and hug that left knee in a little closer. Lick your lips, swallow a few times. Let's take that action of hugging that left knee in a little closer one more time. An option here to wrap the right thigh on top of the left. Bump your hips to the right side of the mat as those knees come to the opposite side. So a deep twist here. You can cactus your hands out to the side. And maybe gaze over that right shoulder. Steady breathing. And unwrap those pretzel legs. We'll keep both feet flat on the floor. And we'll come to the other side. So the left ankle on the right knee hugs in. We interlace below the knee or underneath the calf or underneath the back of the thigh. Flex the left foot and hug that right knee in a little closer. Gently allow those shoulders to soften away from the ears. Feeling the shoulder blades on the back body, squeeze that right knee in a little closer. Where's that breath? Send it all the way to the belly. And releasing that right leg. Option to take that wrap with the left thigh. We take our hips to the right side of the mat and allow those knees to soften. So deep twist here. If it's too intense, we unwrap that leg, cactus those hands. Can you feel the back of your hands on the floor? Steady rhythmic breathing. Soften something in the body here. Maybe it's your eyelids, your tongue, your belly. Nice, we'll unwrap those legs, squeeze those knees in our chest. And one more time, we'll take one more twist. So we cactus those hands out to the side again. We'll drop our knees to the right. Gaze over that left shoulder. And our head back to center, our knees back to center, and take both in the opposite direction. Hugging those knees back in. Rocking, rolling, last time. This time, 3 or 4 rocks to our seated position. We extend those legs, full breath in, soften through those knees, and melt forward. Crown of the head towards the toes. Our chest is coming over those thighs. Soften those shoulder blades down the back body. Those knees are bent. We honor tightness and breath by breath, maybe opening up the backs of the knees. Maybe they come a little closer to the floor. So subtle movements, but just noticing how that shows up in the body. Beautiful. We inhale, open up our heart, tall spine. Now draw the soles of those feet together, finding Baddha Konasana. Float those butterfly wings. Let's reach our heart forward. Elbows draw those thighs down. Then taking a look at your feet. Open up those feet like a book. Now we round that back body. Elbows encouraging maybe those thighs a little closer. Our heart lifts. We take our hands on our knees, zip those knees up, walk your feet out a little further.
your hands 6 to 12 inches behind you. We find that reverse tabletop. So feet root, use the toes, hips high. Let that head be loose. So you're balancing a glass of wine on your belly. See if you can have that wine glass lift up and down a couple inches here. Sending that breath. One more inhale. On an exhale, chin in, hips down. Let's extend those legs. Reach those hands forward. And we'll find one more posture. We find our happy baby. So hug those knees in, reach for the inner arches of your feet, flex those feet, and we'll rock side to side. And extend that right leg, reach through the right heel, soften through the inner groins. Your face is relaxed. Our right heel comes in, we take the other side. Keep that left leg where it is. We'll find that straddle position and maybe gently rock, bend those knees. And last time, the soles of our feet come together. Reach those heels towards our inner groins. Those elbows are opening up the knees, just like we did on the floor, just taking it on our back body. And we'll release our legs to the floor, allowing yourself to settle in for your Shavasana. Rock your head side to side. Maybe twist your wrists in one direction and then the other direction. And the toes flare in and out. As we invite our knees back into our chest, and allow them to fall to either side of the mat. Support your head with your hand. Pause here for a breath or two. Maybe staying in Shavasana or curled up, or find your way back to a comfortable seated position. Eyes soft or closed. Real friends can help you feel grounded during a storm and inspired enough to launch into your dreams. Whether you met them recently or have known them for years, there's a special energy when you're together that fills you with strength. The way they believe in you makes life easier. So I'm inviting you to bring your hands to your heart center, bowing your forehead to the tips of your fingers, feeling the effects of your practice this morning. I'm inviting you to join your voices in to seal practice with one beautiful Om. We sip in that inhalation. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Appreciate you sharing your practice with us this morning. Make it a great day. Namaste. Thanks, everyone.
Great stuff.